Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. So by the time you guys see this video, we will already be well into December and very close to Christmas, in which case I really hope you're enjoying the festive season. I'm sure I will be. But today it is technically not even December yet for me. However, it is getting very, very close, which means it is time to pull out the advent calendars and get them ready. So you might remember that last year, Josh very, very kindly bought me the White Company advent calendar and I absolutely loved it. I'm still using some of the stuff now. I love the scents from the White Company, but very expensive. And you know, almost every single year that Josh and I have been together, he's actually treated me to a really cool advent calendar, which I've thoroughly enjoyed every single year. This year has been no different, because in this box, which I have yet to open but I have had for ages, actually has the Cult Beauty advent calendar, which I can't wait for. I'm so excited. Cult Beauty stock a lot of high-end beauty brands, and it's brands that I don't tend to shop because they're very, very expensive, so it will be nice to have a little taste of luxury throughout December. And I'm really grateful to Josh for buying me that. He's very sweet. I was going to get Josh an advent calendar. I was going to get him the Look Fantastic men's calendar like I did last year. However, it was out of stock, which is a shame. So what I have done instead is use the money I would have spent on his advent calendar and bought him an extra Christmas present, which he doesn't know about, but I'm sure he will appreciate because I know it's something he's been wanting. Anyway, I didn't throw away the White Company advent calendar last year because it's very pretty and it's really sturdy, and I thought last year it would make a really good kind of advent calendar just moving forward with other things inside, because it doesn't actually have any indication to what's inside each drawer when you open it up, nor does it have much indication on the actual outside of it that it is a White Company advent calendar. It has the logo here, but I'm pretty sure that's actually on the plastic sleeve that you take off. I just kind of repackaged it to keep it safe throughout the year. So what I plan to do is fill it up with 3 sweets, chocolate bars, whatever, for each day, and this will be the boys' advent calendar. I thought that would be a little bit more fun than a basic, boring kind of chocolate advent calendar. I have a little bit of a mix of things in this tub. I have some like sweet type treats like malwams and whatnot. I've got some sort of bigger chocolate bars like fudges, and then I have a lot of actual little hero chocolates, and also some chocolate coins as well. So I thought that would be nice for them this year. Eli does actually have a Haribo advent calendar downstairs that his dad bought for him, so he does have an extra one, but that was nothing to do with me. So my plan for right now is to load up this advent calendar to get it ready for the 1st of December. My mum is coming to visit this weekend, so I'm going to be a little bit busy after Wednesday, which I'm really excited about. I haven't seen her for a little while. When did I see her? I think the last time I saw my mum was when we went up there to visit, which was in the summertime. So I am really, really looking forward to seeing my mum. So I want to try and get these bits and bobs done now, because she actually leaves on the 1st of December. So I need to get this done now, really. So that's what I'm going to do. So here is the advent calendar without its packaging, and like I said, it's quite, you know, you can't really tell it's a White Company advent calendar from the outside. It does have the logo on the inside, but that's fine. And I like to repurpose things. So here's all the boxes. I think the bigger boxes, number 1 and number 25, obviously 1st of December and Christmas Day. I'm definitely going to have to use some of the bigger chocolates just to make it a little bit more exciting. So I've got 6 of the bigger chocolates here. I have 2 Curly Wurlies, 2 Twirls and 2 Flakes. So I'm just going to pop 1 of each into each of these bigger boxes. And then I am literally just going to fill each of the windows with 3 of these little sweets and chocolates. I am going to try and mix them up a little bit, so some days they'll get chocolate, and then some days they'll get kind of sweeties. Some days they'll get chocolate coins. have some eggs that are going bad today, so I decided that I was going to make a batch of biscuit dough and cookie dough ready for Christmas. I know I'm going to make biscuits at Christmas, I know I'm going to make cookies at Christmas, so I figured I might as well use the eggs before they go bad. Make the dough, pop it in the freezer, and then it's all ready to bake at Christmas time. So I've got the majority of my ingredients over here. For the cookies, I'm going to be making white chocolate and nut cookies. This is like a mixture of like peanuts and cashews. Not sure if it's going to go, but we're going to try it anyway. And then the biscuits are just going to be like a plain sort of butter biscuit. I have some little stamps that I bought from B&M and I'm really excited to use them. So that's what I'm going to be using those for. But yeah, for now I'm just going to make up the dough and get it all in the freezer. Guys, you would not believe the week we've had. If you have followed my Instagram stories, or if you did follow my Instagram stories a week or so back, by the time you see this video, then you'll know what's gone on. But it's been a very, 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 very stressful 7 days, hasn't it, Puddin'? Oh dear. So on Wednesday evening, my mum came to visit. She travelled down from the Midlands and she came to visit us. Now, Avery had an appointment that was in hospital an hour away from us that day. It was, what was it? A paediatric surgery appointment, and we were discussing the fundoplication. Long story short there, we've decided to hold off on it because Avery's reflux isn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. She's still keeping food down. She is still thriving and growing. Not that the last week proves that in any way, shape or form, but she was a bit poorly that morning. She was a bit hot, so we gave her some paracetamol and she seemed to settle down a bit. Now, by the time we were leaving that appointment, which was around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, she started to spike a fever again. So we popped into a petrol station, we picked up some more Calpol, gave her some. On the way home, however, she started seizing and she threw up. The seizure stopped on its own. It was quite a mild one. So we brought her home, settled her down. We did struggle to get the temperature down though, and within a couple of hours of my mum arriving, Avery started fitting again. It seemed to be a mild one and we thought it had stopped, but what we noticed was her eyes started deviating to the left, and within a couple of minutes we just couldn't get her to focus on anything else. We couldn't get her attention. She was just looking to the left the entire time, and we figured out after a couple of minutes that she was still seizing. So we did the whole procedure. We called the ambulance had to come out. Avery had to be taken into hospital. and the seizure ended up lasting 55 minutes. So it was quite a long one, and it was quite strange because it was one that we've not seen before. It was really strange. My guess is probably focal, but I am waiting for a call back from I'm waiting for a call back from Avery's paediatrician so I can discuss it with her. Avery ended up spending a night in the hospital. She had bloods taken. She was given a course of IV antibiotics. We came home on the Thursday afternoon with a cannula to continue IV antibiotics at home. On the Friday, the nurses came out to do the IV antibiotics. This is after Josh had to go back to the hospital to pick up the supplies, by the way. Just to find out Avery's cannula had stopped working. So we then had to take her back to hospital on Friday evening, and we decided on IM antibiotics, which is the one that goes into her thighs, because we hadn't received the blood cultures back yet. We didn't know if anything was going to show up. Our guess was it wasn't, because it's usually the way, and we didn't want her to go through having another cannula put in if the antibiotics were going to be stopped anyway. On Saturday we got a phone call to say the cultures were clear and she could stop the antibiotics, so it was a good call. But then on Saturday Avery started vomiting, and when I say vomiting, I mean she was vomiting. She was vomiting everything, and she had really bad diarrhea too. We chalked it up to the antibiotics because they can mess with the gut microbiome, especially IV antibiotics and IM antibiotics, because they are a little bit stronger. So we just carried on as normal, tried to get as much hydration into her as possible. Come Sunday, she was still vomiting, so we decided to ditch the feed and just pump Diorolite into her, just to try and get hydration into her because she was throwing up everything. So we ended up doing like a really slow rate of Diorolite through the pump throughout the day, but she continued to vomit. Come Sunday evening, Zach was vomiting, Josh was vomiting, I was feeling really sick, Eli was fine, but we figured out quickly that Avery had actually picked up something in the hospital, and by something I mean probably Norovirus, because we all had the sick bug and it was horrific. It was really horrific. So Monday comes around, same kind of thing, just trying our hardest to get some hydration into Avery. She didn't vomit throughout the day on Monday. She just started vomiting a lot in the evening, and she was up all night vomiting. The same thing happened on Sunday, by the way, but because she kept most things down in the daytime, I thought things were getting better. But Tuesday came around and she was still vomiting, so it got to the point where we decided to call PAU at the hospital because her nappies were starting to get drier and drier, and I was getting a little bit concerned that she was dehydrated. So we ended up taking her back into hospital on Tuesday night. So as suspected, they popped a cannula in and started her on IV fluids. She had the IV fluids overnight, and then yesterday at the hospital we kind of did half and half IV fluids and Diorolite through her tube, which she kept down. Now I don't think we're quite out of the woods yet. She is still urging, as you probably noticed while she's been sat here. We're doing half a feed currently. She has kept her meds down this morning, and luckily she'd actually kept her meds down this entire time. Timing just worked out really well, where we got her meds in and she didn't vomit until like an hour afterwards. So she has kept her meds down. She's kept her meds down this morning, and we're currently doing half feed, and it's going at just under an hour, but what I am probably going to do right now is just drop it down to over an hour because she is urging, so she's kind of struggling with it. So over an hour, and she's having 90 ml, which is half of her usual feed. She was weeing at the hospital yesterday, so that's a good sign. I'm hoping just by having those sort of 24 hours in the hospital, she at least managed to kind of catch up with her hydration. So yeah, what have we had over the last week? We've had a viral infection, which we're still not sure what it was, but we didn't do any kind of nasal test, so we don't know what the viral infection was. Probably just rhinovirus, like normal. We have had 3 seizures. We've had an ambulance ride. We have had 2 cannulas. We've had 3 injections because they actually decided to do the IM hydrocortisone in the ambulance. We have had a sickness bug. We have had too much vomit to count. We have had lots and lots and lots of nappy explosions, 2 hospital admissions, and quite a few sleepless nights. So it is safe to say we are all absolutely shattered. It's been a hell of a week, and then on top of that, me, Josh and Zach were all sick too. And do you know what, I think it was Sunday was when Zach was sick. Sunday was atrocious because I was back and forth between Avery vomiting and Zach vomiting. It really was atrocious, and that was on like no sleep because Avery hadn't slept the night before. Me and Josh took it in turns. One night Josh actually stayed up until 5 in the morning, just kind of keeping Avery upright. 2 nights in a row we had to let her sleep in her pee pod. Obviously Josh and I couldn't, you know, go into a deep sleep at that point because she was in her pee pod, and even though she had the SATS monitor on, we needed to kind of keep an eye on her. It's just been a hell of a week. It's been quite the way to start December, hasn't it, Pudding? Josh has popped to the hospital to pick up some more hydrocortisone for Avery. He's also picking up some Diorolite, just so that we can keep giving her that because it just helps with the boost of hydration. Avery's okay in herself. She is still very much a happy little girlie. Honestly, how this girl goes through what she goes through, still with a smile on her face, is beyond me, but she is just the strongest and bravest little girl I know. Aren't you, baby girl? You know, Wednesday night when she had the cannula, she hadn't had it in her foot, and they did give her the numbing cream, but honest to God, she didn't even flinch. She even fell to sleep while they were fiddling with it, and never known a child to do that. But yeah, she's doing okay in herself. You're alert and you're happy, aren't you, Pudding? And we're just really hoping we don't have to go back to hospital. We have a visit from someone from the children's hospice, the local children's hospice, on Monday, and even though we haven't had our initial stay yet, I am genuinely considering just saying, you know, we need a break. We really need a break, and that is how they work at this children's hospice. They don't tend to do resilience stays, like pre-booked resilience stays. It's more a case of if you really feel like you're struggling and you've had a bit of a time, then that's when you request a stay. And I kind of feel like we've kind of hit that point. Me and Josh are running on fumes. We're so tired, and you know, we're getting over being sick ourselves. It's been a hell of a week, hasn't it, sweet girl? Something nice throughout the last week though has definitely been my advent calendar. I've really been enjoying it. I did take a little bit of b-roll of the things that I've gotten so far, so days 1 to 4, so I'll insert that footage now. Today is the 5th of December, so I get to open another one, and let me tell you, there's some really like luxe products in here. I cannot wait to start using them. The only thing I have been using has been the lip balm that I think I got on day 2. Ooh, this is a nice big box for day 5. And there's 2 things in here, that's exciting. So, what have we got? This is from the brand Hair by Sam McKnight. And we have got the volumizing shampoo and the volumizing conditioner. That's really exciting, and I think what's really nice about this is the fact they've put both in one door. A lot of advent calendars, they probably separate these into 2, but that is really lovely that they've put them both in. And I love hair products. To be honest, I've loved every single thing so far. I've had do you know, I think I've had 3 serums, the lip balm, and these, and honestly everything so far has been right up my street. I haven't had a single thing that I don't think I will use yet, which is really nice, because usually in an advent calendar, or you know, an advent calendar that isn't chocolate, you generally do get 1 or 2 things that you don't think you'll use. Like in my White Company one, a lot of the body lotions I didn't end up using because I don't tend to use body lotion. It's just a step I do not have time for. But I haven't found one I will not use yet, which is nice. So this is day number 5, very exciting. The boys have been loving theirs. They've really enjoyed opening the little doors in the calendar that I set up for them. Some of you might ask where Avery's advent calendar is this year. Every year so far, and you would have seen over the last couple of years, we've always bought her a storybook advent calendar. The reason we didn't get her one this year is because I have realised over the last few years, Avery doesn't tend to enjoy being read to. She loves sensory books, she really does. She loves the kind of flip out books and the sort of touch and feel books. She likes books like that. She likes to be able to feel them for herself. She really enjoys kind of going through those books, but when it comes to me reading to her, she gets fussy really, really quickly, almost as though she's telling me to shut up. And that's kind of what I found with the entirety of December when I was reading those books from the advent calendars. And they weren't short stories, or they were short stories technically, but not for children. They were proper little storybooks, and it would take me a good sort of 15 to 20 minutes to get through one. And she just kind of whinged at me the entire time, like every single time. As sweet as it was, and as much as I loved, you know, the whole idea of being able to read her a dedicated story every single day, she hated it. So we decided against it this year, and honestly, considering she can't eat anything, there isn't really a whole lot else that we could do for her. I considered like bath bombs earlier on this year, but we don't have a bath now, so that's kind of out the window as well. So it's fine. I'm sure over the years I will figure something else out. Maybe I'll even keep the box to this advent calendar here and see if I can do something with it for her next year. But yeah, what she did get though yesterday, the elves came around the ward. By elves I mean there were 4 men dressed as elves that were going around the ward giving out Christmas gifts. So Avery did actually get a little Peppa Pig teddy, which was really sweet. So yeah, that's where we're at with the advent calendars. Something else to update you on, I actually received a lovely package again from our friend in LA. So she sent us another little care package. First thing is this little Minnie Mouse teddy, and it's actually high contrast. It says high contrast for visual stimulation, which is really, really lovely. This is so sweet for Avery, and you know how much things like Minnie and Mickey Mouse and all the Disney characters are close to my heart, because they're always going to remind me of Disney World. She's also packed 3 little chocolate lollies, which I assume are for the boys. I will probably pop these in their Christmas Eve box. I will definitely say who they came from. These are just, yeah, they're really, really sweet. And then the little tubs they can keep to pop whatever in, or they can go on a Christmas tree or something like that. But that's really, really sweet. And then she's also sent a pack of Lotus Biscoffs, which is lovely because I will eat these. I was waiting to dive into them just to show them on camera, just to show that I have received them, and they're very, very much appreciated. Very, very sweet. So thank you again, as always. It is really, really lovely that you keep sending things. Not necessary, but so lovely and really, really appreciated. I also have another thing that came from our lovely friend in LA. Now, first things first, I need to apologise because this actually did arrive in my PO box in the summertime, and I'm not gonna lie, I just completely missed it. Luckily my PO box did hold it for me, and it's literally just arrived today, and this is what she has sent. And oddly enough, I was just talking about this. This is the kind of book that Avery will love. It has lots and lots of bright colours, lots of visual stimulation, not too many words, and it has these little peepholes which just give her a little bit of extra interest, and it's supposed to help with learning colours, which is really nice. And it kind of coincides with something very exciting that's going to be happening soon. I'm not sure if I've told you guys on camera yet. Maybe I have, but in case I haven't, Avery has a school place. She's going to be going to the special school that we applied for. We found out a couple of weeks ago and we've just finished filling out her admission forms, so hopefully pretty soon we'll be having a meeting with them and she will be starting school, which is so crazy exciting. But yeah, thank you again so much to our lovely friend in LA. Do you know what? I would really love to visit California one day. It's definitely on my kind of bucket list of places to visit. And honestly, all of America. I would love, there's so many states I would love to visit. I really would like to visit some of the southern states. I think it's the accent. Something about the accent is just really appealing to me. I'd really like to visit some of the southern states, and California is definitely one I'd like to see. Obviously Washington I would like to see. One of my dreams from way back to when I was young has always been to go to America, rent a big kind of like an RV or some kind of motorhome, learn how to drive one obviously, but spend like an entire year just traveling through America. I would love to do that. Anyway, yeah, thank you again so much, and I'm really sorry it's taken so long for us to receive this, but this will be going on Avery's bookshelf 100%, and I'm sure she will love flicking through this one. Final thing to update you on, because things were already kind of going south by the time this arrived and I never got the chance to pick up the camera and show you. And we're in Avery's room. She finally has her special bed. So this is Avery's new bed, and it's actually exactly the same one that she had before. The only difference is it doesn't have the blue bumpers. Reason being, we didn't need them. Avery's not that mobile in bed and she has the sleep system, so we didn't think it was necessary. It's much easier to kind of work with the bed without the blue things on. So this is the Darley bed short. I'm not too sure if that's what it's still called. It could be the junior Darley bed. I'm not 100% sure. But it has all of the same controls, which is amazing. It still tilts. You might be able to tell at the moment it is currently on a tilt. So that's really exciting, and it's definitely something that Avery was in need of, and it couldn't have come at a perfect time really. It's really important we keep her on a tilt at the moment because of her vomiting, but just really exciting that we finally have it. I currently have her old bed in bits down here. I was thinking of selling it, but then I thought that is a lot of wood, and wood is very expensive, and I thought, you know, I might just make something out of the wood. So I'm going to keep it for now. So I feel like that's all of the updates. I feel like I finally got you guys up to date. What a week it's been. But I am actually going to close this video out here because I feel like I've just kind of thrown an awful lot of information and updates at you guys. And given the week we've had, I feel like I would just be better off starting off a fresh new vlog for the next one. So there are going to be a few little DIY segments in the next video. I have a few things, a few little projects that I've got the bits for that I need to be getting on with. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I know there really wasn't that much to it, but you know why. It's been a week. It's been a week, guys, and I'm just hoping that things start getting better now. Silver lining though, at least it was now and not over Christmas. That would have been heartbreaking. Something else to mention as well, we had to cancel 4 appointments because of this, 3 of which were really important. We had Avery's MRI, we had a short synapthin test, and we had a complex movement disorder clinic, and we also had an appointment with trauma and orthopedics. All 4 we had to cancel over this, so that's quite annoying, but it is what it is. It really couldn't be helped. So yeah, with that said, I will see you guys hopefully in a video with some much nicer updates, much nicer news. Bye guys.